it, don't you? Until it suits you, basically.
Yeah.
From the sort of the Burns to the BMG copy, then and I can't remember how Andrew Guyton came along. I couldn't remember. Go on, you can tell me.
I've got a feeling it might have been for the restoration
of
Brian's acoustic.
Brian's Egmont. That's right.
Yeah.
Brian's Egmont, Brian's first acoustic guitar. So we got Andrew down. He did the restoration of this Egmont, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then we started to talk about, well, did you do anything else? And he said, yeah, I make guitars. And well, have a look at this. And Brian showed him the plans and showed him the Fryer. And he said, well, yeah, I can make those. And Greg was going to make these commercially, but I don't think he had the infrastructure to do it.
Right,
and
yeah.
whereas Andrew did.
Yeah.
And Brian liked the thought of it being made in England by an English luthier.
Yeah. And
having contact that directly, which is very difficult with Greg because he lives in Sydney.
Yeah, yeah.
So Andrew made this, which is the green Guyton.
Which is actually my guitar.
Which is your guitar, apparently, yes.
Yeah.
So again, which is, there is, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to choose between this and the Friars.
Yeah.
They are
it is fantastic.
Superbly made and sound as close to the original as you could probably get. I'm not sure if even Brian made another one, if he had enough bits left over from the original, if he had enough of the fireplace to make that, if he had enough bits, if he kept the and built a spare. I still don't know whether it would sound the same.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you could. There's lots of happy accidents in that guitar.
Yeah. We'd like to call it magic, wouldn't we?
Exactly. But there's a lot of things that happened which you could never recreate.
Yeah.
And he hit the jackpot first time.
Yes.
But having these is, I say, it just makes my life so much easier.
Love this
having these
guitar.
qualities, I love this guitar, and I love the colour.
Yeah.
And this is the one he plays on Fat Bottom Girls. And this isn't serial number 0001.
But it is the first one, though,
but it is
isn't
the
it?
first Brian May Guyton that Andrew ever made. So hence it's got the D here. So I know, again, in the dark, which one to pick up and give to him, so I don't make him look foolish when he goes. So yes, that's the green Guyton. I love this guitar. It's a fantastic guitar.
And that's got Adrian's.
It's got Adrian Turner's hand-wired pickups, which are Addison pickups, which are the same values as Brian's ones in the same order. So he's come down and measured all of Brian's pickups, and obviously they're now 50-year-old pickups filled with araldite. So if something goes wrong with those, we're going to be hard pushed to fix it. But I have a set in my work case just in case, and fingers crossed I never have to get those out. But so Adrian again is another. I'm so lucky to work with these people, as you know. Like I found all these amazing people because I'm a good problem solver, but technically I'm way behind these guys. And to find all these people like Greg and like Andrew and Nigel Knight and Adrian, it's just, and Mike Hill, who does the it's just amazing. You can find these people and you have a brilliant working relationship with them, and they just help. They make so much difference to what I need to do, and I don't need to think about it. If I say to Mike, I need something to do this, he'll go away and he'll build it for me. And I don't have the technical knowledge to do it. I wish I did, but I don't have the technical. I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. But that's not all of the job, as you know. It's there's a lot of but the problem solving and the gear wise, I'm massively confident about all that stuff. It's the electronics.
Well, he's again, Adrian. When I spoke to him, when you hooked me up with him on the first leg of the We Will Rock You German tour, and he built me pickups. He went, I'll dip into my little private stock of
make some proper ones.
I've got magnets from the same era as Brian.
Amazing guy.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, and really cares. You know, it's nice to have people who really give a shit, and they're not in it. They're in it because they love it. You know, obviously we all have to make a living, but someone like Adrian, he's not ever going to be rich, but his work is fantastic, you know, and it's the same with Andrew, and the same with all of them. You know, they all deserve to be multi-millionaires as far as I'm concerned.
So this is a bit of a special one.
This came next. This is a scallop. This is entirely. It's got all scallop frets all the way up, and this. I don't think Brian's ever used this live, but he loves this guitar for warming up on. So this goes with him in his dressing room, and he will sit and play this. He said it's much softer on his fingers.
Yeah.
He'd have to press so hard.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for him to have that, because he does, his fingers hurt him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and he's playing 2.5 hours, more or less every night, and it does start to take its toll on the tour.
Oh,
and
definitely.
This he loves, and actually we were going to try and start using it live. I don't know quite what for, but it'd be good to use it. So that's that's a
fantastic
beautiful
guitar.
looking thing, but not as beautiful as this.
Yeah,
this is
your favourite.
Which is my favourite. Yes, my favourite, the Badger guitar, fixed bridge with a piezo pickup in the back, twin outputs, one for the acoustic pickup, piezo pickup, and one for the normally, the same pickups as in the original.
We got that little Badger
we got the little Badger in there, which apparently was a pain to put in, but it's an absolutely gorgeous guitar.
Because the original one was meant to have an F-hole in it.
That F-hole is on the plans of Brian. So it's that F-hole that it was going to have.
Yeah.
So Brian's original, had it had an F-hole, would have. That's where it would have been, and that's what shape it would have been.
And this is the thing, the kind of shaping of the contoured scratch plate.
Yeah,
it's flawless.
He said that was a absolute pig. It was the worst bit to do.
And he's obviously using that for a crazy little thing called Love.
And we do. It's a neat little trick, because where I'm able to swap from acoustic to electric without having to change guitars. So it looks good, and it looks.
Yeah. Next up, we have the BMG sandals, and also the
trem.
The trem, yeah.
This is
when Brian
amazing.
When he plays Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That is fantastic, isn't it?
I think Andrew just had a bit of a moment then, and just decided that it would be a good idea to make Brian a twin neck, and it's an amazing bit of engineering, and he did use it on the first gigs that we did with Adam.
Yeah,
he was using that for Under Pressure.
Under Pressure, yeah,
which starts off, as people know, with a 12-string.
The 12-string part. Yeah.
But we tried it again on this, and it's so heavy. It is such a beast. And I think on this too. The Under Pressure was later on in the set.
Yeah.
So by that time, Poro keeps blowing a bit anyway, and he was I can't play this. I cannot play this during this. But it's fantastic. Beautiful looking thing.
If I just turn that round for the camera, you can see that you got the bolts the same as on the original.
Absolutely.
The big neck.
Two big necks.
It's
twice as good as the original. That is.
That is an absolutely beautiful.
And this that we had made, it was obviously it was very neck heavy.
Yeah.
So it was almost impossible to, along with the weight and everything. So we had to extend where the strap sat. We had to extend that out there. So Andrew made that, and it worked well. But it's a bloody heavy beast. But it's a beautiful looking thing.
So these controls here
control these pickups.
So it's basically that, but just done with these.
And that is electric, and that is 12-string, and that is both, which is that's a noise and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say
you can't. You need two people to have that. I was
going to say, I'd have to come on.
You have
to come on and do a bit.
So it takes a bit to get your head round.
Yeah.
But basically, we just used to set it up so he would play 12-string, and then when he would play electric, he'd do that.
I like the fact that the volume controls though. Are for the bow, because most double necks, I've got a double neck, and you've got, you have to get your head around that.
Yeah.
And then the pickups. Oh, I've got two lots of volume controls as well.
What's going on?
It's fantastic.
He's a clever boy. That Andrew.
Just for the geeks, what are the strings? They're gold strings, aren't they?
They're guitar strings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they really?
Yes.
But they're made of gold. Is that?
They're gold plated.
Yeah,
they're gold plated. We've stuck with them for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're Optima.
Yeah.
Optima strings. It used to be Maxima.
Yeah. And they're his signature strings, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're quite a small company. They're very, very good to us, and they do seem to keep their tone longer. Whether it's because of the gold plated, I don't really know.
Yeah. They look lovely,
but they look nice when they're clean.
Yeah.
But there's not a massive amount of. I remember talking to another guy who used this, a guy called Tonto.
Yeah.
I'm sure and he worked for another band who liked to change their strings every night. I'm sure it was Tonto who told me. He'll ring me and tell me if it's not.
Yeah.
But he said he kept all the strings,
And at the end of the tour, he had this big box and he got them melted down, and he thought he'd end up with like a nice bit of gold. And he ended up with a bit of gold like that. It was worth about 20 quid. And he had all this massive, great big
Brilliant.
box. So there's not a massive amount of gold on there. Otherwise, obviously they'd be lots of money. But,
marvellous.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, thank you ever so much for having us down today,
mate.
and getting all these number ones out. I feel that the viewers stroke readers have been very privileged to see these. There's some beautiful guitars here, and obviously, some very special guitars that Brian takes out on tour. So, thanks a lot, Pete.
All right, mate, no problem.
Great.